After a painful accusation, Joey Logano fires back. Is he against NASCAR fans? Find out as we investigate the racing scandal. Was Logano's comment interpreted incorrectly, or is there more? Discover the facts regarding driving accessibility, fan expectations, and the hot topic debate. Plus, an unexpected request to settle the score. Fans, don't miss this showdown. Subscribe to our channel and hit that like button for more whereabouts on NASCAR. Joey Logano wants to clear the air about his recent comments on NASCAR fans. He insists that his remarks about fans being spoiled were totally taken out of context. The whole thing went down during Logano's weekly hour-long segment on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio's The Morning Drive on December 14th. Hosts Pete Pistone and Mike Bagley sparked a week's worth of debate with the discussion. Our fans are spoiled. And with that, Joey Logano set off a firestorm of opinions across the industry. I love our race fans, but think about other sports for a second. He continued during his weekly hour on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. Think about it. When you were going to meet an NFL player, can you meet an NFL player anytime, 3 hours before the game? But you can meet me 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes before I strap into the car. You can take a picture with me. I'm there. All the other racers are the same. We walk down the red carpet before a race, and all the drivers stop and sign autographs, or at least we try to. It's hard to get everyone to, but that's the norm in our sport. That doesn't happen in any other sport, so to say that we're not accessible is wrong. That's not the case at all. We're very accessible. I feel like the drivers are normal folks. Maybe there's some that live a bigger lifestyle than others, but the majority of them are normal racers. They're not any different than the racers who race on Saturday night, and it's just a bigger stage and they've made a lot more money. So that changes a little bit of the lifestyle, but they are racers at heart. Interestingly, rookie driver Carson Hocevar chimed in, suggesting that Cup Series drivers could be more accessible. Veteran spotter Brett Griffin even tackled the topic on the latest Door Bumper Clear podcast, arguing that today's drivers are less accessible compared to those from previous generations. Logano, known for not being very active online, was caught off guard when he discovered the heated debate he unintentionally sparked. It wasn't until a day or two before his next scheduled appearance on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio that he realized the buzz. What really got under his skin, though, was Griffin's remarks on his podcast. Joey Logano made his comments by saying, "We had the classic pot-stirring clickbait thing that was taken out of context and then blown out of proportion. That's what happened. I guess I need to clear this up. I didn't even know this was happening. I have a habit of just kind of living my life, and then someone came over and said, 'Did you know all this was happening about what you said?' And I said, 'I have no idea what you're talking about.' What did I say? Here's what I said. I said our race fans are spoiled because of the access they get compared to other sports. And that got taken out of context as, Joey Logano says race fans are spoiled. And that's not what I said at all. What I meant to say, and what I did say, is that the access race fans get is incredible. And I love it, by the way. Because remember, before every race car driver was a race car driver, they were a race fan, and I remember being a child going to the racetrack to meet my racing heroes. That memory is in my mind all the way through the season. The access that NASCAR gives compared to the NFL and NBA. Shoot, I went to a Clippers game after the championship, and they let me sit courtside. Coolest thing in the world. But I did not meet one player, or think about one of them coming over to say anything. They had no public appearance right before the game. If I compare that to what NASCAR offers race fans, that a grandstand ticket, and this is a fact, before the race you can come down, right down to drivers' intros, and stand right next to the cars in the infield. I go over and say hello to them, especially if they're wearing a 22 hat, by the way. That helps. I was saying, boy, as race fans, and I'm including myself, do not have a lot to complain about on that subject. Is it hard being a race fan on other subjects? 100%. Weather is always a challenge, no doubt. Cost of being a race fan is expensive. Camping, hotel, tickets, it's not cheap to go to a NASCAR race. 100%. But I will say, NASCAR gives fans great access, and it's unfortunate, and it was pretty frustrating, to hear where this went. Because I feel like I try to do so much for the sport because I love it, and care about the people in it. It's why I'm on the Driver Advisory Council, because I want to make it better. I don't get paid to do that. I do it because I want to make it better for the next generation. Not just racers, but also fans. I do this show, 20 plus fan appearances away from the racetrack last year. But what I heard what some undereducated people said about what I am and what I do and attacked me, it was really frustrating and made me want to clear this up. There are people really uneducated about this sport, speaking into a microphone, and that's not okay. I just feel like as a sport and myself personally, that some things are clear. So yeah, that all happened and I want to come on here and clear this up. Bottom line is, I love race fans. I love all race fans, and the facts are, we give great access. We may not be able to meet every single race fan at the track. That's impossible for me, but I do try to get to as many as possible. I do a lot of appearances away from the track that fans can come to, public fans, not special access stuff that anyone can come to, and a lot of drivers do that too, not just me. Griffin, not just a race-winning spotter, but also a seasoned marketing and activation specialist with over 2 decades of experience at NASCAR's highest level, unsurprisingly defended his stance in the face of the pushback. He believed that there's room for improvement in terms of driver interaction. Bagley, being objective, pointed out that Logano is actually one of the more approachable stars in the sport. The 2-time Cup Series champion is accessible for media requests, hosts a weekly show from February to December for community engagement, and actively participates in various activations. From Logano's perspective, he felt unfairly criticized by Griffin. Logano further said, "Here's the bottom line. We're all a little spoiled, right? I drive race cars for a living. Am I spoiled? Hell yeah, of course I am. There are different ways of looking at it. I try to do as much as I can because I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to meet a particular race car driver and he blew me off. I remember that feeling forever. That's why when I see a kid, I try my hardest to say hello because I remember that feeling. I was given that experience for a reason. I've been able to do a lot of different things with a lot of different foundations with kids, all that stuff. So that happened for a reason. When I heard what Brett Griffin said on that podcast attacking my character, it made me say, this guy does not know, and he has a microphone. It's a bad feeling to hear all that someone can make up things to get attention. That's really frustrating from my perspective, but it's also the world we live in these days. How do you make money in media? You have to make people listen. How do you get people to listen? You have to put some edgy stuff out there to get clickbait and get people to listen. Unfortunately, I was a target of that because of a comment that was taken out of context. Bottom line, I care because someone attacked my character, but it's also just life, and people really don't know you, so you just have to move on. But I wanted to clarify here that I love my race fans, all the race fans. Love me or hate me. I'm only here because we have race fans, and that's why we give them great access. Griffin leaves the door wide open for Logano to join door bumper clear and have a back and forth to hash things out. It's a common occurrence on the polarizing show where discussions circle back to a subject and the involved parties eventually talk it out on the air. So, Logano now has an invitation on the table. So that's all we've got for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in the upcoming video.